Welcome back. In less than 2 weeks, it'll be time for turkey. So today our focus is on food, specifically grocery prices for the holidays and beyond. Wayne Pesce is here to give us an idea of what to expect. He's president of the Connecticut Food Association. Wayne, thank you for being with us.
Hello, Eric. Nice to see you again.
So whenever you come in, we talk food prices. So I did my research, and I told you when you walked in the studio, I tried to fill my little piece of paper up with stuff to ask you about. I found all sorts of crazy conflicting information. One place said potatoes were up, one place said potatoes were down, and you said it's kind of a weird year.
Yeah, it's a strange brew. So, for example, turkey prices. Turkey, last year there were some real issues, not only with the price of turkey, but with the availability of turkeys. That has since corrected itself, and the cost of turkey is down this year substantially based on supply. So that's good news. Eggs are down, baking products, right? So those costs are down. But on the flip side, what you're seeing is some increases on, take for example, russet potatoes up 20%, sweet potatoes up 6%, canned goods, canned vegetables up 15%. And it's created this strange dichotomy of where it's actually the same this year for the meal as it was last year for the meal, but the items are all kind of mixed up.
So you started with the turkey, which is the centerpiece of most meals, and that price going down, that's usually a big bill for many people. So if you can save on that one, you can absorb a cost increase maybe on the potatoes.
Well, that's so every year there's this this metric that comes out that we look at, and it says, what is the cost of a meal this year? And if you recall, last year when I was here with you, it was up substantially. I think it went from $53 to $68 last year. It was
big difference.
Yeah, there was a sticker shock there. And so this year, there actually has not been an increase over last year, even though for over 2 years it's much higher. And the items on the plate, you would think that it would be less this year because turkey prices have come down, and that has happened, but the other prices for those products that you might have at the table have gone up. So, for example, beverages, soft drinks are up over 8% a year ago. Beer is up over 5%. Wine is up over 1%. So everybody's going to have beverages at their table. They're going to pay more for them. They're going to pay more for potatoes and sweet potatoes. So those items are up, the turkey's down, and everything kind of mixes to even, which is very, very strange.
And in a year like that, where the component prices are changing, but the overall meal is staying around the same, it might be tough for the average viewer, the average consumer, the person at the supermarket to really pick up on the prices. One thing we talked a lot about, because it's something that's pretty basic and easy for a consumer to track, was egg prices. Because we saw the egg prices go bananas for a little bit there. It's sort of regulated back to where we expect them to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting, like the egg prices and the turkey prices are actually connected, and that was all around the avian flu last year. And so that's kind of dissipated, and those types of prices have come down. But what you're seeing is on the manufacturing side, labor costs have gone up. And so it's not a supply chain issue anymore. You know, a year ago, 2 years ago, it was, oh my God, it was a supply chain issue. All the prices are going up, supply and demand is out of whack. Well, the supply's back. Supply's all the way back, so it's not supply. I think there's been a bit of profit taking. I think there's certainly been some inflation. And those two things combined are you know, causing, I would call it confusion for people as they go out there and try to shop for their meals. I am always a proponent, and you and I have had this conversation, like, I'm a big list guy. Put your list together, shop around, that's how you save money. Will there be big discounts on turkeys this year? There may be some discounting of turkeys this year because there's a good supply. But on those other items, you really need to be smart and savvy and do your homework and look around. And even if it is, shop early, because like a lot of retailers will have a weekly special. So you can get it that week, but the week after it costs a little bit more, and you just lost out potentially if you're trying to save money. So I always like to say shop early, shop with a list, and do your homework before you go to the store, because there are savings out there. You go to one place at the last minute, you're going to end up
paying what they ask.
What they ask. Yeah. One other interesting thought. I did some looking around before we got together today around restaurants versus cooking it at home, and those two, you know, the idea where we're going to go out for dinner. And is it going to cost me much more, or am I going to save money? I don't have to do the dishes or something like that. It's this year is very interesting. The labor rates in the restaurants and the costs in the restaurants. It is actually cheaper to stay home and prepare a meal and have dinner with your family, just based on what's happening out there as people try to go out and eat outside of the home.
So save some money, but you got to do the dishes. So it's
exactly.
Tell me about you talked. It's not avian flu. It's not supply chain. So what is driving these sort of what you call weird prices?
Well, it's inflation. It's basic inflation. So a lot of companies, because of supply chain problems and other reasons, took price, and they've taken price for a couple of years. And here's the thing about taking price: it generally doesn't go back down once you take it. And I think that's some of this, and certainly some of it is inflation. And I think there are some other macro measures around this, whether it be fuel costs and energy costs and transportation costs. They're all driving it. And some of these are not commodity items, right? Some of these are staple items. And once a staple item goes up, that staple item that's now the base.
So give us a little crystal ball looking ahead. Last year you gave us a tip. You said go out and buy olive oil.
I was right.
I did. Tracy, our producer, did. It was like insider trading in the olive oil market except we said it on TV, so we don't have to go to jail.
Right.
What's your tip this year?
Well, olive oil prices are still up, and that drought in Europe where we get a lot of olive oil, that is going to continue. So those prices aren't actually going to come down. But that's a commodity. Once the supply gets back to where it needs to be, you'll see that price come down. If for my house, I can just tell you that we are eating at home, and we are going to maybe buy an extra large turkey so we have some leftovers and save something there. And you just have to be a smart shopper. And you have to be able to shop around and look around and look for the best value out there, because, let's be honest, it's expensive. It's expensive to feed a family of 4 or 5 people today. And, I don't know that the money that folks are making today is quite catching up with the inflation that they're seeing when they go to shop for food. So,
well, like you said, it went up like 20% last year, so we can say, oh, great, it's the same as last year. But 2 years ago, we're still seeing these big prices. So.
Right, and have you gotten 20% more in your paycheck to cover that? And
that's what a lot of people are thinking.
Right, and then take energy prices, right? Home heating oil. We're a little better at the pump today than we were maybe 6 months ago, but again, a factor, because I don't think people live in a bubble. The first thing they're going to do is feed their family. That's the first thing you're going to do. So you're gonna do that. You'll make some altering decisions. You may buy chicken or poultry versus steak or something like that. But I mean, I think people are looking at their budgets today, saying, what can I do to save enough money to go on vacation or go to a show or something like that.
Well, and you gave us the answer: shop around.
Shop around for sure.
Right. Thank you. We'll have you back again to talk about this interesting stuff. Wayne Pesce, president of the Connecticut Food Association. Thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure, Eric.